All right, so get ready for something a little different. We're going deep, deep into some ancient Chinese magic today.
Magic.
Yeah, well, sort of. It all revolves around these Qingqiu foxes of Qingqiu Mountain.
Oh, those stories. I've heard a few. Pretty enchanting stuff.
Enchanting's one way to put it. Definitely makes you think, though. Today we're going to unpack why these tales have stuck around for so long. Not just some, silly fairy tale.
You're right, they're way deeper than that. It's not just about shape-shifting foxes, is it? There's a whole cultural belief system tied in there.
Exactly. I mean, these aren't your run-of-the-mill foxes we're talking about here. Born from pure energy. Not just born, like,
Yep.
poof, they exist from this.
Key.
Right, key, that vital energy that flows through all things. These foxes, they're like the embodiment of nature's power. The good, the bad, the whole shebang.
And their ability to shapeshift, usually into beautiful women. There's a reason that image is so prevalent.
Right. It plays into so many themes. But getting back to the story. So we've got these super powerful fox spirits just doing their thing up in their mountain sanctuary. And then...
A human stumbles in. Classic.
Totally. Some young scholar wanders into Qingqiu totally by chance. Just going about his day completely unaware. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or the right place, depending how you look at it.
Because obviously he falls for one of these foxes.
Hard. Head over heels, doesn't even realize what she really is. Talk about your forbidden romance.
Oh, absolutely forbidden. Especially back then with those strict Confucian values. A scholar falling for a supernatural being.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so good. So anyway, eventually the truth comes out. Our scholar finds out his love is a fox spirit tasked with protecting Qingqiu.
I bet he had a bit of a crisis after that.
Oh, for sure. What would you do? Stick with the magical fox lady who you love, but risk everything. Or go back to the boring, normal world.
That's the age-old question, isn't it? Duty versus desire. Seen it everywhere. Orpheus and Eurydice, even Shakespeare. Always a crowd pleaser.
And what does our scholar choose?
Love. He stays. Throws caution to the wind. Rejects everything he's been taught. Risks it all for this fox. Makes you wonder what was going through his head.
Well, I mean, maybe he was tired of the human world. Maybe Qingqiu, this untouched paradise, symbolized something to him.
That's the beauty of these stories, isn't it? You can interpret them in so many ways. Maybe he was seeking a simpler life, a connection with nature, who knows? But clearly he was drawn to something in that world.
Something powerful enough to make him give up everything. So there's this love story brewing, but then things get a little dicey. There's this external threat to Qingqiu, right?
Yeah, the story's a bit vague on the specifics, but something's out to disrupt the peace. Could be another supernatural being, with some kind of disaster even, I don't know.
Human influence.
Possibly. It's almost like a metaphor for the way humans tend to mess things up. But the point is, Qingqiu's in danger, and our unlikely couple has to band together to protect it.
So like what they combine their powers, Mr. Smarty Pants Scholar and Mystical Fox.
You got it. He brings the brains, she brings the magic, and they fight for their love, for their home.
So it's a happy ending, right? They save the day, live happily ever after in magical Foxland.
Well, not quite. It's a little more complicated than that. They do manage to protect Qingqiu, but there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
They have to part ways. Each returns to their own world. Bittersweet, for sure.
So no fairy tale ending.
No, but there's beauty in that, too. It's a reflection of life, isn't it? Nothing lasts forever. Their love was strong enough to save Qingqiu, but they both had to make sacrifices.
Wow. So we've got forbidden love, sacrifice, the power of nature, fighting against the odds. It's like a whole philosophy lesson wrapped up in this fox story.
Exactly. It makes you think about what truly matters, about the choices we make and the impact they have.
And that image of Qingqiu, this untouched paradise, it's a powerful symbol. What would you fight to protect? What's your Qingqiu? Makes you think, huh?
It certainly does. These stories stick with you, make you question things, see the world in a new light.
That's the power of a good story, right? And this Qingqiu, it's more than just a good story. It's a peek into another culture, another way of thinking. And even though it was written centuries ago, it still resonates today.
Absolutely. It reminds us that even though times change, some things stay the same. Love, loss, the struggle for balance, these are universal themes.
So listeners, as you go about your day, maybe think about what your own personal Qingqiu is. What's worth fighting for? What sacrifices would you make? And hey, if you ever find yourself wandering into a magical mountain, keep an eye out for those fox spirits.
You never know what you might find.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See you then.